Well, the point is every single state, there is going to be a community of open-minded couples.
Yes.
I mean, that's the bottom line. It's like they're not going anywhere.
No.
I mean, it's just like they're here already. Just because maybe society isn't wanting to recognize it doesn't mean it's not there. Hey everyone, it's John and Jackie with OpenLove101.com. You are joining us today for another Ask John and Jackie. I love these segments. They're like actual questions from real people.
Like you.
Like you, yes. So keep those questions coming. We've got Courtney here with her great sultry voice to ask our questions.
Thanks, Jackie. So the first question comes from Reddit, and it is, what makes lifestyle dating apps and websites different from mainstream apps like Tinder, Plenty of Fish, Bumble, etc.?
Well, I think the first thing that makes them different is they are geared towards couples. So with a lot of the lifestyle websites like SDC or Cassidy.com, for instance, you can put a profile on there as either a couple or single person. And they really get more into aspects of the lifestyle, like what are you into, what people, you describe yourself and your likes and dislikes. And a lot of times on dating apps like Tinder, you don't really get so much into that.
No.
What are you looking for? We're looking for a single guy. We like threesomes. We like foursomes. We like dating. I mean, there's so many things about having to do with the lifestyle itself.
Right. The wife is
To
bi.
answer those questions in your profile. And I don't know that Tinder really has that depth to it. So if you really want to get into depth and find out about people and what they're into, that's the place to go, is on those websites.
Right.
Now, me personally, I think there's still a need. I think as a couple, we can still do things using the other dating apps like Tinder, for instance. Jackie and I are more in an open relationship. So if I was looking for someone just to, go out with, I could find someone that way. But it might be more difficult to find a couple on there because they're not really geared towards couples.
The next question is, this comes from the Colette Lifestyle Parties Facebook group, and it is ghosting. Do you consider it ghosting if someone sends you a message and after looking at their profile, you don't message them back? I'm just curious on your thoughts.
Well, first of all, it's interesting that question came from the Colette Lifestyle Parties group on Facebook, which is a great group. Be sure and check it out. Colette Lifestyles Parties. Isn't that what it is? Yeah. Ghosting. Do you consider it ghosting if someone sends you a message and after looking at their profile, don't message them back? I do not consider that ghosting.
No.
People send us, being in the lifestyle, out there on some of these dating apps or lifestyle websites, we get a lot of messages. It would be a full-time job for some people to answer all the messages you get. So I think what you're really trying to do is find someone that you connect with, and you're weeding through, people. If people reach out and they're not really our type or they're not into what we're into, I don't think we necessarily would have to answer that person if that's what it was all about dating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like if you reach out to somebody and they don't answer, that is kind of an answer, right? I mean, I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I don't, yeah.
Some people though, I found maybe you can tell their insecurities when they message back 2 days later or 2 hours later even. You don't like my profile? There's something about me. They're trying to find some kind of an answer, and like you said, by not answering, really should indicate that's the answer. Does that answer the question?
No, it does. That's
okay.
Perfect. This question comes from Instagram, the Open Love 101 Instagram. And it is, do you feel social media and the internet has made it easier to be in the lifestyle or harder? I feel it has made it harder as I find myself paranoid that someone will find out about my double life through social media. But I'd love to know your thoughts as you are public.
I think it's made it easier. Because you're connected to your community online, and so you're meeting people outside of your physical community. So I can meet people all over the place.
Yeah.
And connect with them that way. And I think the person brings up a great point of why it's so important to be open about it. It's hard for me not to want to focus on the, like this double life. I mean, we're not living a double life. We're living the life that we're living, right? If you're being authentic, that's the life you're living. Now, you may not be talking about it, but that doesn't mean that you're living a double life. You're still who you are. It's just that people may not know that. But that doesn't mean that you're trying to be two different people. And for me, I like to tell people who I am. I don't like people to tell me who I am. And that's one reason why I'm open. And I'm so open that I tell everybody. But I have the freedom to do that too, right? So I don't have a job where I've had to sign a morality clause where I could be fired, or in a space where I could risk my livelihood, which is another reason why I'm open, because I think that's the most ridiculous thing, but that's getting off topic. I think social media makes it a much better space for us as people in consensual non-monogamous relationships to be able to have that sense of community, to know that we're not alone. There's more than 3 of us or 5 of us or 10. I mean, there's millions of us that are living our lives quite successfully in this relationship model. And so, for me, this is a perfect way to capitalize on that. Because if you don't want to live that double life, there has to be that catalyst where everybody comes together so we can have that strength in numbers.
And if this person is paranoid, if you are paranoid about it, then I would say, then get off social media. You don't have to be on social media to be in the lifestyle. I mean,
true.
You can join a site that's geared towards people in the lifestyle, like Cassidy.com, and find parties or clubs or events that you can attend where other people like you are going to be there. And that can be your way into it. You don't have to promote it on Facebook if you're paranoid about that. And like Jackie said, there's definitely plenty of people out there today that are concerned about losing their job, or maybe they're concerned about being disowned by their parents because their parents have a hard time with it,
or their kids.
Yeah, or their children. I think it's sad. I mean, I think I love to be able to tell people who I am. And like, this is part of my DNA. It's not just something I do it is fun and I do enjoy it, but it's not just about that. It really is about who I am as a person. And, but Jackie and I are definitely fortunate that that's our business, is to talk to people about it. And so we are definitely open. But, it is ironic too. Sometimes people find it amazing that we are.
I know.
Like, your kids know?
Everybody knows. Your mom knows.
And because we there are people in our industry that do keep it hidden, or they try. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful that I've grown past that at some point. I gave up. Yeah. I mean, I just am who I am. And
yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So to me, to keep it hidden, feels like. not sharing with the world something that has what I believe made me a better person.
I remember an interview that we did with ABC, and the question the reporter asked us was about, telling our kids.
Yeah.
And Jackie ended up talking to him about how important it is to be honest. We hide these things. Are we being dishonest with our children if they come up to us and come right out and ask us? I mean, if we lied, that would be dishonest if we lied straight up. But we found that through our honesty and sharing with our children about this, what we base our relationship on is honesty, trust, communication.
Right.
It has helped them to be more open with us.
Right. Well, and here's the thing. This is the other misconception. We're open with them about our relationship model, not about, because people are like, well, my kids don't need to know about my sex life. It's like, yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a relationship model, like you said, with honesty and communication and transparency.
And you say that, but there is going to be, if we tell people that we're swingers, if you tell our kids know that we're in an open relationship, they know that we're having sex with other people.
Right.
We may not talk about it specifically, but it's kind of part of the definition.
Right. Right.
So if there are kids that are 12 years old, maybe it's not a conversation I would want to have with them.
No, it would not be a conversation I would have if they're 12. But if they're an adult, yeah. But I feel like we're getting off topic now.
Well, it's about coming out.
Yeah.
And it's about being honest.
It is.
And Jackie and I we definitely understand why some people want to keep it closer to the cuff. But we're really advocates of trying to find ways to be more open so that people don't have to go through losing their jobs over it anymore.
Well, and to me, the more open we can be on social media, the better, because it introduces what we do to people that maybe don't understand. And now they are beginning to understand, and they do see the benefit of what it is to be in a more open relationship and what that entails. And it's not just sex. There's a whole other world to that.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn more about that, sign up at openlove101.com. Give us your email address, and we'll send you information about how you can talk to Jackie and I more about opening up your relationship and things that come along with it.
Oh.
Next question, Courtney. Ooh.
Jinx.
So this question comes from Reddit, and it's, do you feel there is a city, state, or even a country that is more accepting to those of us in the lifestyle, be it laws or culture?
I find through my travels, and I haven't been everywhere in the world, but Europe has been there a long time. I mean, some of the countries not necessarily, but the European mentality as a whole, 3,000 years, and their culture has evolved in that time. And I even 2,500 years ago, 2,000 years ago, if you look at the Roman Empire and some of the things, we were in like Pompeii and Herculaneum, and we saw these mosaics on the walls of people's homes that depicted group sex. That's from 2,000, 2,500 years ago. So they definitely have more of an open-minded mentality there than our new country of the United States, which has only been around less than 300 years and was settled by very conservative people when it comes to sex, I believe, and Puritans, pure, right? And so now I think we're evolving, and our country is changing, becoming more open-minded. You can see it.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
You can see that definitely in the past 20, 30, 40 years. So that's one. So that's a region, European region.
Yeah.
I would say that'd be probably the number one area that's more open to open relationships. But you're seeing it more and more in South America, people opening up. And that probably, once again, comes from the Europeans settling there, and that more sexual open mentality is more prevalent.
Yeah.
With laws too. I mean, you look at the laws of Europe, and they're much more open to things like
nudity.
Yes.
Sex workers.
Yes.
Just even family life is different. Even just their mentality with that. I don't know. It's sometimes I feel like over here we're kind of playing catch up, which is interesting.
Yeah, we are.
That kind of sexual acceptance, and the differences in that, and how all of different relationship models, those can all be healthy relationships. That we don't have to just exist within one frame. We can have a lot of different things going on simultaneously, and it still all be a benefit for everybody. So,
and then they also ask about city or state, and I think in general, the United States across the board, I don't know what the percentage is, but I think every single state that you go to, you're going to have people there that are open-minded and that are in relationships like this. I don't know. It doesn't matter if it's California, Rhode Island, Vermont, or Florida. Now, you're going to have more people that are open-minded in Texas and Florida because there's more people that live here than maybe some other states. But proportionally, I think it's in general pretty much the same. Now, you get into some smaller towns across the Midwest or out west, maybe you're not going to have that many people there. So the same thing's going to happen. And if it's a religious community, it may be more tight-knit in that sense. And so you don't really see open relationships talked about. But it doesn't mean that people aren't thinking about it.
Well, the point is every single state, there is going to be a community of open-minded couples.
Yes.
I mean, that's the bottom line. It's like they're not going anywhere.
No.
I mean, it's just like they're here already. Just because maybe society isn't wanting to recognize it doesn't mean it's not there. I mean, at some point, society, there'll be a working together kind of thing happening. So,
did they answer the question, do you think, Courtney?
Yeah, no, I think it definitely did. Are these based on laws or culture, do you think? Is it just because of the people, or is it because the laws are a little bit?
I mean, here in the States, I don't necessarily think the laws don't regulate whether or not you're in an open relationship or not. I mean, I don't think there's any laws that say it's against the law to have sex with more than one person.
Because that's called dating.
Yeah, yes, that's called dating. Great point. Culturally, though, I think is where we find the issue is because our society, some parts of society here in the United States don't agree with consensual non-monogamy at all. And so that's definitely the hurdle we have to overcome. It's not necessarily the laws around it, it's the culture. That's what has to be changed. People need to just be more accepting to other people, and what their likes and dislikes, no matter what it is.
Well, and I think it shows how peer pressure isn't just something that a third grader's dealing with at school. Peer pressure can be almost worse as an adult. Yeah. I mean, you're a freaking adult, and yet you're afraid. You're afraid to say something, or you're letting society dictate what you can and cannot do, and society can move agonizingly slow when it comes to changes like this. And that's why, you just, at some point you have to just kind of keep doing what you're doing and hope that there's going to be enough of you to create a critical mass where that can shift. And that's kind of why we keep doing what we're doing, to help educate people and see that, we're just normal people.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm whispering at you, Courtney.
The last question is from Colette Lifestyle Parties again. And it is, do you have a favorite lifestyle party theme or event?
I don't know if this would like an event that Colette has, or an event that, because I love when we have promoters come in. I love when we work with another group that brings in kind of a completely different flavor, because it's like having company. You're sitting at home and you're in your apartment, and it's great. And then all of a sudden the doorbell rings and it's your neighbors and they come in and it's just like, yay, like just this different. And that's what I feel like happens sometimes when we have a promoter in the club. You just get this like completely different view of people and
different energy.
Yeah. And it just like,
So we have a handful of those: eye candy, elegantly wasted events, desirous parties.
Yeah, we have DJs that'll come in
for you.com.
Experience for you.
So those are all events that, and each of those events has a different feel and energy, and they all bring something. They don't happen very often. So I think that's what makes them kind of cool too. They're just an occasional event we might have, and
they travel around to all the clubs, and I don't know. Those are just fun. As far as themes, it is so funny how much people like to dress in costume or in a theme. Those are great too. When we have kind of a fun purpose to come to the club, it's like, oh, I get to wear that, great outfit, or I get to, I'm a little bit nervous, but I can go to this specific party because it's got a theme that I'd like to wear, but I've been too nervous to wear. And I guess this is when peer pressure can be kind of like a cool thing, because it can force you outside of your comfort zone and put you into something that maybe you wouldn't do, kind of help you open yourself up to stuff. So that's fun.
So my favorite event is probably Halloween, because I just love the variety of costumes that we see. And you get people coming out that maybe only come out once a year, or, maybe a couple times a year. And so you'll see it'll be a large, it's one of our busiest nights. So that's fun too. And just the excitement, the energy of all the costumes and people, how much effort they put into making these costumes. I love that event. My favorite theme, I really like the Daisy Dukes theme.
No, if you guys have ever in Dallas one year, John actually dressed up in Daisy Dukes. It was hilarious.
Yeah, but that's not why I like the theme. I like seeing other women dressed in Daisy Dukes theme. But I did do it that year just to have fun. But I love the Western theme, so they can dress in their Daisy Dukes. I can wear my cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and a Western
fun.
Shirt.
Yeah,
and
welcome to Texas.
My tight boot jeans that you love, right? So I don't know why, but that's probably one of my favorite themes. And
I don't know, it's just fun.
And I like little black dresses. Yeah. You can never go wrong with a little black dress theme.
No. Yeah, it's just fun. And that's the great thing about the club. It's just a great atmosphere, and everybody's excited to be there. And yeah.
Well, I'm surprised y'all are mentioning it. I like New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day.
Oh, true that.
Valentine's Day, it's romantic. You have all these couples out.
Yeah.
And then New Year's Eve, you have all the same traditions. So when the ball drops, the balloons fall from the ceiling, whatever it may be, everyone is excited. They're starting a new year with people amongst their own community.
That's a great point.
That is a great point. Yeah. Yeah. They're ending their year and starting the next year
by popping a balloon and finding a great prize.
That's not what I was going to say. With the community.
Oh, yeah.
God, yeah. Those are great. Those are great. Are there more questions? Is that it?
Nope, that's it.
Awesome.
John, is there any event that you would like to see us have at Colette that we haven't had? Not that you would come out, but we can take pictures and send them to you.
How about you have a beard? How about if we should have a beard decoration night?
Yes.
Glitter.
Oh, glitter.
Stop. That'd be amazing.
But
Christmas ornaments.
We are always looking for events that involve men, and most of our events involve Daisy Dukes as women. That's why I wore them, because what events do men get to have?
Beards
and mustaches.
It should be for November, the No Shave November.
No Shave November and bejewel your beard.
There you go. Ta-da! We're done. My work here is done.
You got anything else for us, Courtney?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Once again, be sure and sign up at openlove101.com for our email list. See ya.
See ya.
Dang, I learned a lot from that video. Subscribe, and you can learn a lot more.